So Donald Trump went on the Lex Friedman podcast this weekend and turned some heads with this comment.
How do you think you'll do in the debate coming up? It's in a few days.
So I've done a lot of debating, only as a politician. I never debated. My first debate was the Rosie O'Donnell debate, right? The famous Rosie O'Donnell debate, the answer. But I've done well with debates. I mean, I became president. Then the second time I got millions more votes than I got the first time. So I was told if I got 63 million, which is what I got the first time, you would win. You can't not win. And I got millions of more votes than that and lost by a whisker. And look what happened to the world with all of the wars and all of the problems.
Now, a lot of people have pointed out, this or asked, is this the first time Donald Trump has admitted that he lost the 2020 election? And as I went into a sort of a rabbit hole in this question, I realized something. That, yes, Trump had been, for a long time, there's a long record of him saying that he won the 2020 election, he was cheated out of it, right? We don't have to go through that history. But over the past week, he's appeared on one forum after another, repeating almost identical language that he had on the Lex Friedman podcast. This is Trump over the weekend at the Moms for Liberty conference.
I mean, honestly, we got millions of more votes than we did in the first election. We did great in the first one, we won. And I was told we got 63 million votes in the first election. I was told if we get 63 million votes, same number, there's no way we can be defeated. I got 10 or 12 million votes more than that, more than anybody had ever got. We got the most votes of anybody, of any sitting president in history. And he beat us by a whisker. And it was a terrible thing. They used COVID.
And this is Trump in Arizona.
This was the last week in office for me because of a horrible, horrible election where I got many millions more votes than I got the first time. But didn't quite make it, just a little bit short. We got to clean up our borders. We have to clean up our elections, or we're not going to have a country.
And, I could go on, but this seems to me like it's something more than a slip up. And Trump has had various moments over the years where he has, what seems to be accidentally admitted that he lost the 2020 election, but then he'll quickly course correct. Here's just one audio of a clip that is of that sort of variety.
If I got 63 million, which is what I got the first time, you would win. You can't not win. And I got millions of more votes than that and lost by a whisker.
Now, there are some people within the far right who are really, really not happy about this. Here is Nick Fuentes going off about this.
So I considered myself at one time like the most diehard Trump supporter, literally ready to die for Trump and leading people into the charge, literally on January 6th and everything. And now I can't stand it. I can't stand the sight of it anymore. And it's not because I'm a Democrat. Fuck Democrats. It's not because I'm liberal or anything like that. It's just because it's bullshit. They sold out. They sold out. Everything that MAGA represented at one point and everything that it was is no longer. It's just really sad. And the 2020 comment, it's like, wow, that's how pathetic it's gotten. He's admitting, he says, oh, I lost by a whisker. So what was the point? Like, what's the point of any of it? You lost in 2020? Seriously? I mean, what are we even doing anymore? Then you're a loser. Then you're a loser. You just lost. Then you lost to Joe Biden. You deserve to be charged. If he admits that he lost, then that actually vindicates the DOJ charge against him. Because the charge is that he knew he lost, but he lied to defraud the people. That's the DOJ's charge. So why did we do Stop the Steal? Why did anyone go to January 6th? Why is anyone sitting in jail? Why did anything bad happen to anybody? Why did everyone get censored? Why is everything bad that has happened to the people that are involved. Why did that need to happen if you're just going to walk it all back and say, oh, I lost? Well, it would have been good to know that before 1,600 people got charged. It would have been good to know that before I had all my money frozen, put on a no-fly list, banned from everything, lost all banking and payment processing. Would have been good to know that before I, in 2017, dedicated my life to this as an 18-year-old in college. Just feels like a big ripoff. And don't get me wrong, I'm an adult. It's not whining. I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying you can't say those things for that reason. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't regret anything, and we all make our choices. And look, it didn't work out. It is what it is. So I'm not mad saying I want those years back. I want those decisions back. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that just goes to show what a tremendous betrayal it is. It's just such a callous indifference to the sacrifices that his supporters made on his behalf.
And so the question is, why is Trump doing this right now? Well, my theory is this, number one, this is not accidental. He's repeating the same language over and over again. But two is this comes in line with Trump's attempt to soften his abortion position, where he recently flip-flopped on the issue of the Florida ballot measure and kicked up some recriminations and heat from the right, where he then backtracked on his position. So it seems like it's very possible. It's not, we can never know for certain, but it seems very possible that within Trump's camp, they want to soften certain positions that he has that are inconvenient to him, to say the least. And to understand this, we should go back to 2020 exit polls, right? 2022 exit polls, where, if you remember, Democrats heading into the midterm elections of 2022 were expected to lose. And in some cases, people thought they were going to lose bad, but they dramatically overperformed. And The Hill, the publication, analyzed the exit polls, and I'm going to quote from them. They said, candidates who endorsed Trump's false claims of election fraud pertaining to 2020 fared especially badly. Doug Mastriano lost the gubernatorial race in Pennsylvania by double digits, as did Dixon in Michigan. Don Bolduc, the Republican senatorial candidate in New Hampshire, who had backed Trump's erroneous claims and then reversed himself upon winning the GOP primary, lost to Senator Maggie Hassan by 10 points. And so what they were saying was, hey, this is a true liability. And the very same exit polls showed that Dobbs' Republican abortion positions are even more of a liability than the democracy stuff. So I think what could be happening here is that Trump's team is looking at his record and saying, okay, there are certain things that he has done that are really holding him back from claiming more independence, and they're attempting to soften his positions. And my questions about this are, number one is, as with abortion, will he flip back to his old positions? And my assessment on the abortion flip is that anything he could have possibly gained by moderating, he lost when he flipped back, and probably then some. Put another way, can Trump be disciplined in making this switch? You get the sense that there are certain people within his orbit who are pushing him to soften his stance, but that he might not be fully comfortable with that moderation. So we'll have to keep watching him as he gets asked about this. And then the biggest question I have is, will this matter? Will voters believe Trump as he softens his positions or even backtracks on positions that have become so central to his identity?